Before we start this video, I'd like to give a massive thank you to JohnNeedsALife for providing the footage to review these figures with. Due to this wave of sets being, well, the Ninjago core line, I simultaneously wanted to make reviews of these figures and not buy any core line stuff because it really doesn't appeal to me. So I asked John, who does have the core sets, to send me some videos of the figures so I can review them. Because I don't want to have my only basis for reviewing these figures be set photos where they all really don't look good. So massive thank you to JohnNeedsALife. A link to his Instagram will be in the description of this video. Ninjago core is finally here, new content after months of waiting, and with it comes the return of Minifigure Spotlight. So if you've seen my video on the core sets, you know I don't particularly like these figures or sets, but that's based on set photos. Let's look at them in depth and see what I think. So without further ado, let's get into reviewing these minifigures. In at number 6, my least favourite minifigure of this selection is Jay. My main reasoning for this is there's not enough yellow on the torso. Look at how other suits from this line like Kai or Cole handled the secondary colour, and then with Jay in comparison, the yellow just kinda seems muted and like they didn't put enough of it on there. That being said, this blue and mint yellow looking colour scheme is absolutely beautiful and I hope to see it on a better minifigure. Because all of the core suits have really nice colour schemes. Here is the back of the minifigure, and another detail I really appreciate about all of these core suits is how the ninja have colour coded swords. I think that's a really fun detail. Here's his back print without the armour on, and if the front print had the amount of yellow that the back print had on it, I think I would like this figure a lot more. My main issue is the oversaturation of blue on this minifigure. It could have used a lot more yellow. In at number 5 we have Nia, and honestly, a lot like my scuba suit videos where I couldn't decide if Jay or Nia was the best, with this I can't decide if Jay or Nia is the worst. So Jay and Nia are interchangeable on this list really. And honestly, I find it really hard to articulate exactly why I don't like this minifigure. It kind of feels like it tries to do too much and too little at the same time. This minifigure sports 4 colours: the grey pants, the light grey belt, the blue details, and then the gunmetal torso. I think this is a colour scheme that can work, but given the lack of details on the minifigure combined with the amount of colours, I feel like they should have leaned into more detail or less colour variation. One way I think this could have been reduced is taking a blue arm and then making the hand gunmetal. Every other character in this wave does this, and it makes for a contrast which makes the figure look better. Why couldn't Nia have done this? Because of the one colour arm and hand, it just makes it feel like a giant splodge of colour on one side rather than a decisive colour scheme. Something that I think really negatively impacts all of these figures, minus one of them which we'll talk about later, is LEGO's unwillingness to give them dual molded legs. With these suits, they wanted to go for a robe on top of a pair of pants approach, which I think is a really fun design. But due to the fact that they aren't willing to do the legs all the way, they just have a robe on one side and then it abruptly ends for their sides and legs, and as a result, it just looks weird. What you end up with as a result of this is that all of the minifigures except for one only look good from the front. But back to Nia, core Nia is just a minifigure I really do not like that much. At number 4 we have Lloyd, and first thing I want to say is I want to see more lime green on Lloyd's suits. This colour looks absolutely great. I hope to see more of it in the future, but I'm not the biggest fan of this suit either. Where Jay has too little colours, Lloyd has too many. He did not need the dark green arm at all. This figure just feels like a jumble of different colour ideas where nothing feels particularly good. It feels like there were too many creative cooks in the kitchen here. He has a really nice back print though. It reminds me of something out of Sons of Garmadon. So yeah, I think this figure tries to do way too much and doesn't look very good. But lime green is such a good colour on Lloyd that it saves it from being my least favourite figure of this line. I would love to see more lime green on Lloyd. In at number 3 we have Core Kai. I really love the colour scheme on this figure. I think it's absolutely perfect. The main thing that ruins it for me is the lack of dual molded legs. It really makes the whole multi-layered suit thing kind of fall flat for me. I really love this yellow colour though. This yellowy orange, I love it. I hope to see this on better designed Kai minifigures, like with Jay and Lloyd for lime and the yellow respectively, because oh my god, the red and this orange look amazing together. The back printing for this figure also looks really good. I don't know if this is just me going insane or what, but the symbol on his back kind of resembles an anvil to me. I don't know if that's just me going nuts and seeing things, but I like this back print a lot. I think it looks really nice. Overall, I think Core Kai is a minifigure that was so close to being great. but just missed the mark in a few areas.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Okay, and number 2 we have Corsain, and guys, this is actually a pretty good minifigure. I have issues with it, like say the dual molded legs not being there kind of ruins the whole multi-layered suit thing for me again. But when I just look at this thing from the front, I like this one a lot. The orange and black color contrast is absolutely beautiful. I really enjoy what they did with the colors on this figure. I love just how much the orange pops on the black torso. An issue I have with a lot of LEGO minifigures nowadays is that light colors on top of darker colors always tend to look really faded and muted. But with Corsain, this just isn't a problem. The orange on the black just pops. It is a lovely color. The back print also looks incredible. I really like the torso. The legs are mostly where this figure falls apart from me. But this is a pretty good figure, I have to say. If all of the core minifigures looked as good as the number 1 spot, this suit wave could have been one of my favorites. Corsain is an absolutely beautiful minifigure that's really simplistic, also has loads of design depth, and feels like it knows exactly what it wants to be. If every minifigure was as good as this one, I would love this wave of figures. Unlike the other minifigures, this suit's legs are one color, making the lack of dual molded legs not a problem because the design still looks cohesive enough and doesn't randomly cut off for a different color. The blue, white, silver, and tan color scheme is stunning. I have nothing else to say. All of these colors work so well together. It is the perfect balance of just enough colors, not too many, not too little. I love the blue shards of ice going down his torso as well. I think the blue on this minifigure is just absolutely stunning and contrasts the white wonderfully. Out of all the minifigures in this video, I think I'm gonna go out of my way to buy this one. It's beautiful. So, my overall opinion on the 2022 Ninjago core ninja suits. I'm not really a fan. If this line of suits is your thing, awesome. I'm glad it works for you. But in my opinion, this line of suits has some really high highs and some pretty low lows. And as good as this suit line's highs are, unfortunately, the lows are so low that I can't say that this is a particularly good line of suits. But what do you think of these suits? Be sure to sound off in the comments, let me know what you think of them. And just remember, be civil when discussing these suits. People will agree and disagree on them. They're pieces of plastic, be respectful please. And once again, I want to thank my friend JohnNeedsALife for sending me the footage to make this video with. It literally would not have been possible without your help. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more like it. I want to make Minifigure Spotlight a more consistent thing on the channel again, because I haven't done it in a while. So if you have any suggestions for LEGO minifigures you'd like to see on this show, be sure to make your voice heard. So yeah, that's about it from me. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.